Hi guys, it's about 3:30 right now. Here is what's going on. Here's what happened with the snow out here. Overall, what happened here was most of the snow fell in the highest peaks. All right, and actually it was Laurel Summit, Pennsylvania, that ended up seeing the highest snowfall out of this particular event. 22 or 23.4 inches or 23.2, something like that. Incredible amount of snow. Outside of that, you saw a broad area out into portions of New York. I was actually predicting that this would be the area that sees the highest snows. And then you can sort of see away from there, you kind of get these little small areas of snow. These are the mountains, all right? These little small dots here, these are generally the mountain ranges and the mountain peaks. However, you kind of go around where the mountains are and you kind of got a good 6 to 8 inches. But on top of the mountains, that was where you saw the 8, 10, maybe as high as 11 to 15 inches of snow. Around there, you kind of saw 6 to 8 inches. Now, that's the snow aspect, and you can sort of see, especially when you got into the valleys, you probably only picked up a good trace to maybe as much as 4 inches into some regions. So it wasn't widespread, but essentially it was snow, and at least it actually happened here finally. So that's some good news meteorologically as a forecaster. All right, so that's what's going on here. Now, let's talk a little bit about what happened here. I'm not going to kind of show you the graphics. I'm only going to say here at where I live in Chicopee, we had about 2 to 2.5 inches of rain. Just a little bit to our west, they saw about 3 inches. Just a little bit to our east, they saw about 1 3/4 of an inch of rain to as much as 2 inches. And then the jackpot rainfall amount was in Jewett City, Connecticut, where they saw 4.41 inches of rain. That's some pretty incredible stuff, huh? So that's what's going on here. Now, let's get into the interesting stuff. There's this upcoming storm. Now, this upcoming storm is actually, there's going to be a kind of let's actually kind of move back here. We're going to actually warm up a little bit on Thursday, all right? Thursday, and then Friday or Thursday, sometime in that period, the Thursday-Friday time frame, there's going to be a front that comes through, all right? And it could bring some rain showers, maybe even a little bit of snow behind it. I'm not sure. But what's going to happen here is that this low out here is going to pack itself, and where that low wants to set itself out is going to be very critical. If you live between Massachusetts to New York down into Virginia, this general region, okay, even in parts of North Carolina, there's a shot at seeing some snow. Actually, it goes west here. It also goes into Ohio and Illinois and areas like these. However, that's really, so there's a shot. Now, it's a little bit less defined in the east, okay, because there's a few situations that can set up here. All right, the trough as depicted here on the NAM is sort of, I guess you could say, the central point. All right, the trough could go a bit more to the north, or it could go south. Okay, so if the trough goes south like this, okay, that would mean the storm would kind of go more south and off to sea, with giving maybe Virginia and parts of West Virginia and southern Ohio a chance of some snows. Now, if it's where the NAM is, then really central Pennsylvania and parts of New Jersey could see a good shot at seeing some snows. Then you have this northern one. Okay, this is when it gets more interesting for us, because if it's more to the north, then guess who's going to get it? Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, and northern Connecticut, particularly southwestern Massachusetts. That would be where the jackpot snows are in New England. and northern Connecticut. So we're going to have to see what happens here. I'm not sure how it's going to pan out. However, there are some hints here, and actually I kind of did post another picture on Facebook last night that kind of indicated what the European was thinking. Kind of moved away from that, and then I'm going to kind of have to see what they're saying with the upcoming model run here. It's going to be coming out this afternoon, a little bit later on. This is the NAM, though. This is the GFS, and the GFS is the one that is saying, hey, New England might get some snow. And actually, there are some small indicators that I'm seeing that this area, see this area of dark green? This is the area of heaviest precipitation. There are some indications that this heaviest precipitation band could move into our region. And it would be really western Massachusetts and northwestern Connecticut that would be seeing these heaviest bands. But it's going to be an interesting setup here, how this is going to go. If we did get into those heavy bands, winter storm warnings would be a potential here. Right now, the GFS is correct. Possibly, definitely a good shot at seeing some winter weather advisories. Not sure what's going to happen at this point in time. But after that storm comes through, off goes the trough, and then we sort of see yet again another shot at some rain, which is very good. And again, that snow would melt pretty quickly. And actually, something to keep in mind is that because the tar and the pavement have soaked up all of this warmth, I wouldn't expect any accumulation on the ground, on any of the pavement here. The major issues would be really on the grass, and maybe if there's enough, all right, particularly if we get those higher end amounts, and maybe even that really intense stuff that may be being kind of hinted at here, there could be some more tree damage, but I'm not sure yet because we have to watch out and just see how this pans out. Again, I'm not even sure if the snow is going to happen because it's these sorts of storms, and actually I'll show you what happens here. There could be another trough coming in by early next week, and then that's what happens. So these are the amounts, all right? We are right here. The dark blue indicates 4 to 5 inches of snow. This is 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9 in that purple region. Let's just say, all right, and I said that there are some hints that these amounts in here could become a little bit more widespread. If that happened, the area that would be targeted the most, again, in New England would be this general region, which is the region that got hit hard with that October snowstorm. If that were to happen, and we did get those, let's say, 5 to 8 inch amounts here, there would be a possibility of some tree damage. However, it wouldn't be as major as what happened in October because there was some good 10, 12 inches out there. But I'm not sure yet how this is going to go. Could it be stronger than this? It could. Could it be weaker than this? Definitely. Will this even happen? I'm not sure. Because it's these storms that have came from the west and moved to the east that have really gotten me this winter. There was actually one back, I think it was in March or April, supposed to get 2 to 4 inches, and it was one that moved from west to east, and we got nothing. So these are the types of storms where I need to watch myself here. So right now, possibilities of snows, particularly along and south of the Mass Pike, here in Massachusetts. The Boston area would get a little less, but hey, maybe on the grass they could get a good coat into as much as 3 inches. We'll have to see how that pans out. But again, this is something I'm watching closely because, you know, it could either not happen or it could happen exactly like this, or it could even get worse than what's being put out here. So, you know, there's, like I said, this is kind of very weary ground here that we're on, all right? So, take this with a grain of salt, all right? Really what's going to be important is future updates. this is what will be important, because this could be well to the south. It could even be well to our north. Or it could stay like this, and who knows. All right, so we'll have to see what happens. And this would be for Sunday, which is an interesting day because it's the 29th. And October 29th was when we saw that major October snowstorm. Yeah, so this is kind of interesting stuff here. Like I said, we have to really track this thing and kind of really see how this pans itself out. But, hey, that's Mother Nature for you. That's New England. That's how this pattern is going. And actually, we're in a very cold weather pattern right now. If this were to have been back in the winter, we would have been bitter cold. And there would be no question in my mind with this upcoming system we would see snow. And there would have been no question in my mind that we were going to see snow with the last one. So, hey, that's New England here. But we'll track this thing for you. We'll like I said, we will iron some stuff out, and we may be talking about a potential for a late season snow event. So we'll keep you posted on that. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, everyone, and we'll be back tomorrow. Have a good one.